Did that fix it? No. No.
I'm live now, baby.
Okay. Can y'all see me or hear me now? None? Huh. I'm not sure what's wrong. Can y'all see or hear me now? Hmm. Interesting. Can y'all see me now? Can y'all hear me now? Hello, everybody. Can y'all hear me?
Hi, everyone. I
Okay,
can
can y'all
barely
see?
hear, and
You
it's an
can hear me?
echo.
Okay, who's echoing? Me or she? Is it me echoing? Sounds like it's me.
I can't even hear.
You can't hear me? Hey, Layla, how are you? Spicy Brown says yes. I do hear a slight echo, but I don't know where it's coming from. Let me switch my mic. Let me switch my mic. Mic. My mic sounds nice. Check one. My mic sounds nice. Check two. Okay. What y'all hear? Nothing. 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 Okay. I do hear echo, but I don't know where. I switched my mic. Let's see. So it's not that.
Hi, everyone. Can you hear me okay?
I can hear you. I can hear you loud and clearly, sis.
Okay.
Okay. Do I still have echo? Yeah. Well,
Maybe I'll mute my mic, Sissy.
let me see if I hear echo now. Yeah, it's not your mic. It's something going on with my equipment. And what I don't know. I'm gonna try this one more time. I'm gonna go down and come back up. And if you will begin to greet the chat while I do that, let's see if we can figure it out real quick, okay? If you don't mind. Oh, you know what? Hold on. Was this it? No.
I muted my mic so to see if that helped. Hey guys, sorry about the technical difficulties. Hey Spicy Brown, Kimberly, hey Leland, hey Cheryl, Roz, hi NXS, hey Sparks with the 10 S's, hey Kimberly. Thank you guys for being patient and joining us this afternoon. Are you guys eating anything while you're going to participate in this live? I'm going to cook for y'all while Sissy does the commentary. I'm going to make some pork chops. My dad's birthday is Monday, and one of his favorite dishes is pork chops and gravy. And he either likes it with rice or mashed potatoes, but he's on a special diet. So I'm going to attempt to make some mashed cauliflower. He can have potatoes, but not a lot. So I'm going to kind of do a combination of that. Hey, Ashley, thank you for joining us. So I got vegetables, mixed vegetables. I'm going to make some pork chop and gravy and some potatoes. And then I'm going to do some cauliflower mashed potatoes. I'm going to do it two different ways. He likes it with white bread, but I'm not sure if I want to do some dinner rolls for him or just let him eat it with some white bread. Do I sound okay to you guys, or am I echoing? Am I still echoing, Spicy? You like cauliflower? I do too. I like it steamed. Not too mushy, but steamed really soft. Okay. Thank you, Leland. Okay, good. So hopefully when Sissy comes back on stage, she won't have that echo anymore. Okay, so did anybody get to watch the movie that Sissy recommended, 13th? I watched it last night, and I'm just curious to see how many people got a chance to watch it on Netflix. Yeah, it was on Netflix. It's a pretty deep documentary. It's really deep. So, I mean, it's stuff we already know, but we kind of like push to the back of our mind and just try to go along with the rules and regulations of the United States of America. So, I am going to show you my potatoes. I just got some red potatoes. Peel these. And then I got my pork chops. They're marinating. I'm going to do like a little light sear on them. And I'm gonna, cause they're thin and they're small. Normally I would buy like pork, like the pork cuts. Um, let's see, what's it called? I want to say pork steaks, but it's got the bone in it and it's got a lot of fat to it. I'm having a brain fart right now, so I would do that. But because it's got so much fat, I'm not gonna give that to my dad. So, hey, my baby, hey, Lupac, I love you. Glad you're here. Sissy had to step down for a minute. She had some sound issues. So yeah, I was just telling the chat what I'm cooking for my dad. It's his birthday and his favorite is, well, he just likes gravy, like anything smothered in gravy, but his favorite would be pork chops smothered in gravy. So that's what I'm gonna do. And when I get through cooking and we get off live, I'm gonna take him his plate and let his heart have as much as he wants throughout the weekend. Because Monday, I think we're probably gonna have barbecue. My mom's, I think she said she was gonna barbecue for his birthday. Got a lot going on. Yes, and happy Saturday to everyone. Lupac, did you get a chance to watch the documentary 13th? And I'll look for that the Siren, the movie. It's so many versions of them, and I went through Prime. Netflix didn't have it, but I don't know which one. You probably got to do a screenshot and post the right one for me to watch. And you said I didn't get a chance to watch the documentary, but I'm here listening while I'm doing my nails. Okay, girl. I'm gonna see if I can drop this link in the chat. Maybe Sissy might have to come up that way. Uh, Gotta remember how to do it. I don't know what's going on. Can y'all hear that music or just me? Oh, you watched it on Hulu? Okay. Okay, thank you, Cheryl. I got my phone on Do Not Disturb. So if you're trying to call me, Sissy, text me on the back end. Let's see, private chat.
Can y'all hear me?
Yes.
Is there echo?
No, but there's music playing.
Let's see. How about that?
Okay.
We in there like swimwear now? Maybe.
Okay. You guys.
Say that again.
I was just making sure they can still hear you.
Okay.
Thank you, Cheryl.
Okay. Y'all can hear me? I think that's it. So what I'm finding out is these, I keep them in my ear all the time, like literally all the time. And if I don't take it out, I'm gonna get the backplace. Period. So, greeted everyone already?
Yes.
Well, look at you.
I had washed my apron. Where'd you go? Hey, Kansas 66. I'm just peeling some potatoes through. Make my dad a little birthday dinner. We've been having some technical difficulties here. So, since you get it right though. I didn't want to use the potato peeler for these little red potatoes. I don't know, just something about peeling them with a knife. I like doing that versus the potato, unless they sweet potatoes. Now the sweet potatoes. Oh, there she go.
Can y'all hear me fine now? I shouldn't have an echo or anything. So it was two things I was doing wrong. I had my earpiece, and if it stays connected to any device close by, it'll give me an echo. One. And two, I had StreamYard pulled up twice on the same device. So from now on, guys, y'all remind me, say, Miss White, is your earpiece in, honey? Because you know you be doing the most with that earpiece. I promise you I won't be mad. Just check me out. Get, get me right. Get me right. I see Sissy had already introduced spoke to the chat. She's told y'all what she's cooking already. She done all that. Did we miss anything before starting?
Good morning, gorgeous came in. I was just showing her my red potatoes. I don't know if she got a chance to hear what I was cooking for my dad's birthday dinner.
Oh, I heard you talking about using the potato, the knife as opposed to the pillar. I
Mm-hmm.
use the pillar, but when I have big jobs, I have this little mechanism that you sit the potato on and just roll it, and it
Mm-hmm.
peels everything off. I'll use that when I have a big job or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
How's
Yeah.
everybody doing on this good Saturday? This good Saturday. Everybody doing all right? I also heard you ask who had the opportunity to watch the documentary. Has anybody watched the documentary?
No, so far it's a no.
It's kind of, hey. Well, we're gonna play a little bit of it and talk about it, but let me put this disclaimer out here first and tell y'all about this thing. So we all know what the 13th Amendment is, right? Is there anybody who does not know what the 13th Amendment is about? Anybody? It's the part where we're supposed to be free. Y'all know about that? We be free now, right? And so this documentary was made by Miss Ava, and it was just kind of talking about the clauses that are in the 13th Amendment that a lot of us don't know about, and the loopholes that are in the 13th Amendment as well, um, that our governmental officials has found a way to work around. So although we are supposed to be free now, well, I'm free, but I'm just speaking in general. So although we're supposed to be free now, they found a loophole that kind of gives them the right to say you're not free. Because prisons weren't established until after um, the 13th Amendment whole thing came into play. So basically, what they're saying is, yeah, we told you you were free, but we're gonna find another way just to keep y'all locked up and confined to keep you doing our work. Yeah, June 13th is coming up real soon because a lot of people don't even know what June 13th is about. Because although the 13th Amendment had came into play, it was a lot of people didn't know, and they were still walking around like slaves. And Sissy and I was talking yesterday, and a lot of people, make sure I'm saying it right. Servitude is kind of what slavery is, and slavery is aforementioned numerous times in the Bible. You have instances where God even told the slave owners to be kind to their slaves. So why would He tell them to be kind to their slaves? Were we supposed to be slaves? Because slavery, it's really been a thing since the beginning of time. And if you owed money or you needed some things, you would make yourself a servant to those who could help you. So it's kind of like you work things off, or you worked your way up. I gave her an instance in the Bible. Who was it? Who did we talk about? Jacob. You remember Jake in the Bible where Jacob wanted Rachel?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And he wanted her so bad that like the daddy was like, you can't get her. He was like, I work for you, man. I'll do whatever it takes. I want that woman. He was like, well, give me your work for 7 years. He worked for 7 years. He's like, you can have her sister, but not her. So it kept becoming a thing because he wanted her so bad that he was willing to enslave himself. So even to the point where when he went to go to bed with her that night, he found out it wasn't even her, it was his sister, and he was still willing. You know, he didn't want Leah because Leah had the caca. But that's just an instance that I'm giving to say how slavery has been around for some time. It's just where they turned it into a bad thing, because most people who were enslaved were that way. Mainly, a lot of them was because they wanted it. Now, I'm talking about before they went over to Africa and was bringing slaves back on the
Right.
ships, so forth. So, everybody with me so far? I don't want to throw y'all off. Everybody, can y'all put a 1 in the chat if y'all with me so far? Hey, Amber. How you, sure? Good morning, gorgeous says yes. So she understands. So for a while, slavery was a choice. Like it was. I'm not gonna say everybody it was a choice, but it was a way of living for some people. And then you had, the people from the U.S. that went over to Africa and brought slaves over. Now, let me say this: a lot of people don't know this. Even with that whole situation of them bringing slaves over to the U.S., it was their own people who was it for the okie doke to get caught or to get getting on those boats. Like they were doing certain things. Where you at so far in your potatoes?
I'm just gonna cut them up and put them, and they're peeled, but I'm gonna boil them.
Okay. Can y'all see everything good for her? Okay. So yeah. So yeah, it was our very own people who tricked our very own people into coming over here on these boats and you know for a little something something. So then back to the documentary. Miss Ava decided she was going to expose some things that of the unknown, should I say. Some things from the unknown that a lot of people just did not know about. And the loopholes that are in the 13th Amendment, where they were actually, where it's spoken of several times, where I'm trying to make sure I'm using the right words, guys. Um, they were imprisoning our black men and still are to this very day for the smallest of crimes to keep them in that system working for free. Um, and this documentary, it starts like in the early ons and it brings you all the way up. It's going to talk about different instances and it's kind of a little boring at first, but if y'all just stay with me, you'll see you'll clap on to what's going on because it's going to bring you from the then to the now. Somebody asked that you would mute, Sissy,
Okay.
because they hear your knife moving while I'm trying to explain it. Okay, is that better, guys? Okay, so yeah, so it's in this documentary. It's gonna go, and we'll pause along the way and talk about it and use different instances and things of that nature. And as well, I'm gonna drop the link if somebody wants to come up to commentate with me through this. Okay, and what I'm gonna do in case I have that sound issue like I get so often, I have my backup device ready to roll this time. Okay. So let me make sure I get it all together at the same time. I dropped the link if somebody wants to come up. And we're going to play a few minutes of it's a little over an hour long. We'll play, talk, play, and talk. Are y'all all right with that? Okay, let me get it going. Well, oh, I see what's happening. Got it. I promise, guys, I'm trying my best to get better. All right, here we go.
So let's look at the statistics. The United States is home to 5% of the world's population, but 25% of the world's prisoners. Think about that.
A little country with 5% of the world's population having 25% of the world's prisoners? One out of four human beings with their hands on bars, shackled, in the world are locked up here in the land of the free.
We had a prison population 300,000 in 1972. Today we have a prison population of 2.3 million. The
Can we
United
hear?
States now has the highest rate of incarceration in the world.
So you see now, suddenly they're in an
Oh,
awakening
shucks.
that, oh, perhaps we need to downsize our prison system. It's gotten too expensive. It's gotten out of hand.
Hold on, guys. Let's see what's
But
going on.
the very folks who often express so much concern about the cost and the expanse of the system are often very unwilling to talk in any serious way about remedying the harm that has been done.
History is not just stuff that happens by accident. We are the products of the history that our ancestors chose, if we're white. If we are black, we are products of the history that our ancestors most likely did not choose. Yet here we all are together, the products of that set of choices, and we have to understand that in order to escape from it. The 13th Amendment to the Constitution makes it unconstitutional for someone to be held as a slave. In other words, it grants freedom to all Americans. There are exceptions, including criminals.
There's a clause, a loophole.
If you have that embedded in the structure.
Okay, guys. For whatever reason, y'all see this? Okay, now it's catching up. Go figure.
In this constitutional language, then it's there to be used as a tool for whichever purposes one wants to use it.
One of the things that people have to bear in mind is that when we think about slavery, it was an economic system, and the demise of slavery at the end of the Civil War left the Southern economy in tatters. And so this presented a big question. There are 4 million people who were formerly property, and they were formerly kind of the integral part of the economic production system in the South. And now those people are free. And so what do you do with these people? How do you rebuild your economy? The 13th Amendment loophole was immediately exploited.
After the Civil War, African Americans were arrested en masse. It was our nation's first prison boom.
You were basically a slave again. The 13th Amendment says that, hey, except for criminals, everybody else is free. Well, now if you're criminalized, that doesn't apply to you.
They were arrested for extremely minor crimes like loitering or vagrancy.
And they had to provide labor to rebuild the economy of the South after the Civil War.
What you got after that was a rapid transition to a kind of mythology of black criminality. Go back and read the rhetoric that people used then. They would say that the Negro is out of control, that there's a threat of violence to white women. So the same sort of image we had of Uncle Remus and these genial kind of black figures was replaced by this rapacious, menacing Negro male evil that had to be banished.
Birth of a Nation was just a profoundly important cultural event.
It's the first major blockbuster film, hailed for both its artistic achievement and for its political commentary.
And when it was released, it had this rapturous response. There were lines, everywhere that it was being shown.
Birth of a Nation confirmed the story that many whites wanted to tell about the Civil War and its aftermath. To erase defeat and to take out of it sort of a martyrdom. Woodrow Wilson, the sitting president, had a private screening of Birth of a Nation in the White House. He calls it history written with lightning.
And every image you see of a black person is a demeaned animal-like image. Cannibalistic, animalistic. The image of the African-American male.
There's a famous scene where a woman throws herself off a cliff rather than be raped by a black male criminal. In the film, you see black people being a threat to white women.
All the myths of black men as rapists was ultimately stemmed by the reality that the white political elite and the business establishment needed black bodies working.
What we overlook about Birth of a Nation was that it was also a tremendously accurate prediction of the way in which race would operate in the United States. Birth of a Nation was almost directly responsible for the rebirth of the Ku Klux Klan. It had received this romantic, glowing, heroic portrait. The Klan never had the ritual of burning the cross. That was something that D.W. Griffith came up with because he thought that it was a great cinematic image. So it was literally an instance of life imitating art.
The ripples emanate far out from just the simple fact that it's a movie in the early motion picture age.
Okay, I'm gonna pause it right there, guys. I do not know why the video is not coming up, but I wanted to see if y'all heard what he said, that there was not a such thing as the Ku Klux Klan burning cross, that was done for the movies. And because they saw it in the movies, kind of like monkey see, monkey do, is what they started doing. That's how they started to portray the Ku Klux Klan as cross burning. It was never a such thing prior to. Were y'all able to hear that? Now I'm still working on the audio, but I'm gonna continue to let it play until I get it to come up. If y'all are okay with that, okay? Let me go back.
With the tremendous burst of popularity that the Ku Klux Klan had as a result of Birth of a Nation, came another wave of terrorism.
We had lynchings in this country between Reconstruction and World War II. Thousands of African Americans murdered by mobs on the idea that they had done something criminal.
At the National Democratic Convention in New York in 1924, it is estimated that at least 350 delegates were Klansmen.
Demographic geography of this country was shaped by that era. And we have African Americans in Los Angeles and Oakland and Chicago and Cleveland, Detroit, Boston, New York, and very few people appreciate that the African Americans in those communities did not go there as immigrants looking for new economic opportunities. They went there as refugees from terror.
We didn't just land in Oakland, in LA, in Compton, in Harlem, in Brownsville in 2015. This is generational trauma.
The letters KKK were carved with a penknife on the chest and stomach of this man in Houston, Texas, after he had been hanged by his knees from an oak tree and flogged with a chain.
The Chicago Negro boy, Emmett Till, is alleged to have paid unwelcome attention to Roy Bryant's most attractive wife.
And then when it became unacceptable to engage in that kind of open terrorism, then it shifted to something more legal, segregation, Jim Crow.
Laws were passed that relegated African Americans to a permanent second-class status.
These things really begin to live out the prophecy that Griffith was making about the way that race operates. And this fear of crime is central to all of this.
Every time you saw a sign that said white and colored, every time you had to deal with the indignation of being told you can't go through the front door, every day you weren't allowed to vote, every day you weren't allowed to go to school, you were bearing a burden that was injurious.
Civil rights activists began to see the necessity of building not just a civil rights movement, but a human rights movement.
And I think we should start now preparing for the inevitable. And let us, when that moment comes, go into the situations that we confront with a great deal of dignity, sanity, and reasonableness.
They want to throw white children and colored children into the melting pot of integration, out of which will come a conglomerated, mulatto, mongrel class of people. Both races will be destroyed in such a movement. We just got a report here on this end that the students are in. Those were trying to integrate the bathing beaches, and the Florida Advisory Committee to the U.S. Civil Rights Commission warned that the city was becoming a racial super bomb with a short fuse.
Civil rights activists began to be portrayed in the media and among many politicians as criminals, people who were deliberately violating the law, segregation laws that existed in the South.
For years now I have heard the word wait. It rings in the ear of every Negro with piercing familiarity. This wait has almost always meant never. Justice too long delayed is justice denied.
I think that one of the most brilliant tactics of the civil rights movement was its transformation of the notion of criminality. Because for the first time, being arrested was a noble thing. Being arrested by white people was your worst nightmare. Still is, for many African Americans. So what they did, they voluntarily defined a movement around getting arrested. They turned it on its head.
If you look at the history of Black people's various struggles in this country, the connecting themes is the attempt to be understood as full, complicated human beings. We are something other than this visceral image of criminality and menace and threat to which people associate with us.
We're willing to be beaten for democracy, and you misuse democracy in the street. Let us lay aside irrelevant differences and make our nation whole.
Civil Rights Act, Voting Rights Act said, finally, we admit it. Though slavery ended in December 1865, we took away these people's rights, and now we're going to fix it.
For the first time, the promise of equal justice becomes at least a possibility.
Their cause must be our cause too.
Unfortunately, at the very same time that the civil rights movement was gaining steam, crime rates were beginning to rise in this country.
Crime was increasing, and the baby boom generation that had emerged immediately after World War II, now they were adults. So just through sheer demographic change, we had an increase in the amount of crime.
And became very easy for politicians then to say that the civil rights movement itself was contributing to rising crime rates, and that if we were to give the Negroes their freedom, then we would be repaid as a nation with crime.
The prison population in the United States was largely flat throughout most of the 20th century. It didn't go up a lot, it didn't come down a lot, but that changed in the 1970s. And in the 1970s, we began an era which has been defined by this term, mass incarceration.
This is a nation of laws, and as Abraham Lincoln has said, no one is above the law, no one is below the law, and we're going to enforce the law, and Americans should remember that if we're going to have law.
Each moment in history is a fleeting time, precious and unique. But some stand out as moments of beginning, in which courses are set that shape decades or centuries. This can be such a moment.
It's with the Nixon era and the law and order period when crime begins to stand in for race.
If there is one area where the word war is appropriate, it is in the fight against crime.
Part of what he talked about was a war on crime, but that was one of those code words, what we might call dog whistle politics now, which really was referring to the black political movements of the day, Black Power, Black Panthers, the anti-war movements, movements for women's liberation and gay liberation at that time, which Nixon felt compelled to fight back against.
Once the federal government, through the FBI, moves into an area, this should be warning to those who engage in these acts that they eventually are going to be apprehended.
There's this outcry for law and order, and Nixon becomes a person who articulates that perfectly.
There can be no progress in America without respect for law.
Many people felt like we were losing control.
We need total war in the United States against the evils that we see in our cities. Federal spending for local law enforcement will double.
Time is running out for the merchants of crime and corruption in American society. The wave of crime is not going to be the wave of the future in the United States of America.
We must wage what I have called total war against public enemy number one in the United States, the problem of dangerous drugs.
A war on drugs. And that utterance gave birth to this era where we decided to deal with drug addiction and drug dependency as a crime issue rather than a health issue. Hundreds of thousands of people were being sent to jails and prisons for simple possession of marijuana, for low-level offenses.
America's public enemy number one in the United States is drug abuse. In order to fight and defeat this enemy, it is necessary to wage a new all-out offensive.
Let's call for law and order.
Okay, I'm gonna pause right there, guys. I do not know why I can't get the audio. It's showing on my screen. It shows that it's sharing. So I don't know if it's something within Netflix that won't allow it. But yeah, it's showing me that it's showing it to you guys, but obviously it's not. But you can hear it. And I don't think it's fair that you guys can't see it. So maybe we should just talk about it as opposed to dragging you guys through that. I don't like that, and I don't want to do it that way. What do y'all think? What do you guys think about that? Can y'all respond in the chat to tell me what you all think? And while I'm waiting for you all to respond, I'll just say to you, thank you for coming in, Terry. I saw what Terry had came in as well as Miss Clark, Lorraine Clark, and Brittany Tyner. Leland says, yes, let's talk about it. So what I was seeing on the screen that you guys couldn't see, it was just showing like the Jim Crow era. Do you all know about the Jim Crow era at all? Do you know what it is? Or if you think you know what it is? Anybody? Trying to give y'all a couple of minutes to type because I know it takes longer to type in the chat than it does for me to say something. If you're from the South, you probably know what Jim Crow is. Leland says basically white supremacy is legal. That's a yes and a no. Because actually what they did, they tell you up front that it's not legal, but they found ways to talk about it. Good morning, Gorgeous says she learned about Jim Crow in school. It's about the segregation law, the voting acts, and all of this other little stuff that they did to try to keep the black persons suppressed, not able to move forward. And she says, I remember vaguely, but not in depth. And so this is what this documentary, it's kind of bringing things all the way up. And guys, it's going to take you all the way up to Trayvon Martin. And I'm sure that's something that everybody can relate to, the Trayvon Martin case. I am that somebody says it's enforced segregation. And if you pay attention to when this part that I was just playing was ending, they had President Nixon up there and he was talking about the war on drugs. And from that part, it's going to go into President Ronald Reagan speaking about the war on drugs and his wife's big campaign that she pushed that says, just say no. I don't know how old everyone is in the chat, but a lot of us can remember the just say no. And that was a thing that went on for a very, very, very long time. Are you all familiar with that? Because they're not just going to talk about the drug part. They talk about the petty crimes that a black person can do. And you take a Caucasian person and they can do the very same crime and it'll be looked at completely different. So why do you think that would be? You take a black man and a white man who both stole a piece of bubble gum out of the store. The black man get 20 years, the white man will get probation. Why do you think? How do you think that contributes to anything? Welcome in, Bridget. It's a way to keep I'm not going to say enforced slavery. Let me fix this camera back too. I'm not going to say enforced slavery, but it's enforced slavery. Exactly. Good morning, Gorgeous. Through a loophole. Through a loophole. It's almost like they were afraid of watching the black man move forward. When I say the black man, I'm talking about men and women alike. It's almost like they were just afraid to see them move forward. One thing I do know about, and they didn't talk about it in the documentary, but when slavery was abolished and there was no work, like people were started moving up north. So if I can't think of anybody from New York or New Jersey and all those places whose roots did not come from the South, because they all migrated up north to find work. And when they were on the way, they were sending messages before the people would get there to tell them to be afraid of the black people who were coming, to the point where they had literally told them that they had tails. Like they literally thought they had like a tail wagging behind their backside because they didn't know what to expect. And that was, that's just part of our history. And it's like they have been afraid of the black man for so very long, for a very long time. Good morning. I'm sorry. Leland says Jim Crow laws were any state or local laws that enforced or legalized racial segregation. And good morning. Gorgeous says absolutely, because black men are strong, smart, and powerful. Let alone if they have a strong woman by their side, recipe for success. Absolutely. Like, that's something that has been known since the beginning of time. Our hands are on just about every creation that you can imagine. About every creation that you can imagine, our hands are on it. But we never have gotten the credit that we also deserve behind our works. God forbid you get out here and you get smart and other people know you're smart. How can we prevent that? Let's put them away. Let's get them out of the way in a controlled environment. Um, I don't want to jump too deep in it, but it has a lot to do with why schools were started. Um, even just the prison system in general. Was behind the black man in general. Um, I am somebody says the welfare system was another way the government broke up black families, kept the black man out of the home. Yes, I am that somebody. Get rid of drugs and welfare in our communities. And listen, it was a movie. Who was that movie? I can't remember who the movie was, but anyway, it was talking about where do y'all think this come from? It's like, I don't know, black people own no boats and ships. These ways that these drugs are coming over here. Who do you think are bringing the drugs over here? Because back in the slavery days, they would give them cocaine to boost their work ethic. Like they would give them cocaine and make them hustle. Like they would work. And then they would give them liquor at the end of the day to bring them down, to bring them back down so they could get some rest for the workload the next day. And I don't know if you all have any entanglement with anybody on drugs or anything of that nature, but when they get really, really high, they like to get them a beer or something to help bring them back down just a little bit. And that thing is carrying on to this very day, like it's being embedded into the DNA of the black man. Good morning, Grace says that's why I love the buy black movement. The white man brought drugs into the black community. Absolutely. Absolutely. And in this documentary, they talk about how the crack era, like the crack era and the cocaine era, same drug, different ways to use it. The crack was the cheap, broken down version way of getting the very same high that the white person was getting, but it was more pure and potent, and they could afford it. So, yeah. I am somebody says that was an American Gangster. Yeah, that was it. With Denzel Washington, based on true events. Absolutely. Good morning, Gorgeous said no judgment for those that need welfare, but it really has been a deterrent to our community. It's become normal and not temporary help. Absolutely. And I don't stand in judgment of no one as well, but I too believe that it should be temporary. Like get in here, get what you need to get, and move on. I was talking the other day about politics a little bit, and I was sharing that I have a friend. She's not a she does grants, and she doesn't write grants or anything. She works for the federal government approving loans and grants. And she shared with me how when the Republicans are in office, those monies get used up. Like they put dents into those monies. When the Democrats are holding those seats, that money don't get used. People don't even know about it. They don't even know what it is. And we get mad and be like, we on that the white man thing, but they take opportunity of everything that's out there to get. They take opportunity for every advantage there is to get. Where we don't know about it, we don't educate ourselves enough, and we just rely and maintain on the welfare system and find ourselves on it for a very long time instead of making ourselves more knowledgeable to these grants and funds and things that are out here that can take us a very long way and get us off welfare long term permanently. But for whatever reason, if you put something in a book, we're not going to get it. Like it is what it is. We're not going to get it. We'll read the filth books, the drama, and all of that. But anything that's going to better us or put us in a better position, we won't even read it. We won't take the time to even know about it. And that saddens me. And I was once that person. I was once that person because I didn't know. And I had to grow and become a little more educated about the world and the things around me to be able to learn some things. So, yeah. And I'm saying that to say that everybody gets some kind of help. And there's nothing wrong with getting help, but we need to know what's the best help for us. Um, would you rather give a man something to eat or teach him to fish? If you give him something to eat, if you give him a piece of fish to eat, it's gonna satisfy him for that day or that couple of hours. He'll be satisfied. But if you teach that man how to fish, anytime he wants something, he can go out there and get it because he no longer needs you to do it. So that's why I think we should invest our time more wisely into learning about these grants and loans and things that are out there that you don't even have to pay back. And people get on their feet and move forward. Look, when the pandemic came and we had all these PPP loans and all this stuff that was going out, man, we abused that system so bad. When I say we, guys, it's just a term that I use, meaning the people. They abused that system so bad when they could have took that money and really started them a legitimate business. And I think, in fact, some of the people who were doing the PPP loans and did start a legitimate business, even if they had lied on the application to get it, I don't even think they were prosecuted. It was the people who did who took that money and did what they wanted to do without no repercussion and nobody else to think about, and they were handled accordingly. So we just got to educate ourselves a little more better. Guys, I want to tap in with Sissy for a minute. What you doing?
Hey y'all, so I got my pork chops in the gravy simmering. They're gonna finish cooking. I didn't cook them all the way. I just wanted to get a little sear on them, a light sear. And I got my mixed vegetables in a pot. I put some garlic and some red onion, bell pepper, and my seasonings. Once the water, I didn't feel it. I don't like mushy vegetables, but once it steams a little, then I might have to drain a little bit of the water off and add my margarine or butter, whichever one I decide. And my potatoes are done, so I'm gonna drain those in a minute. But I'm gonna let them sit for a minute till this cauliflower gets tender, and I'm gonna mix the cauliflower with a little bit of the potatoes. But right now, I'm just cooking the vegetables and I'm letting the gravy and the meat simmer.
I didn't even see you make your gravy. Dang on it.
I didn't put no coffee in it, sissy. You think I should go ahead and put some coffee in it
You do it at the end.
at
You
the
do
end?
it at
Okay.
the end. So if you're at the simmering point now, that's
Yeah,
when you want to sprinkle just not a lot,
just a
just
little bit.
a little bit. And baby, when I tell you it's a game changer,
Yeah, sissy got me putting coffee and gravy on.
you tried it before now, right?
Yeah, I tried it a long time ago before, but this since me and you start talking, it's my first time doing it in like a long time.
It's
Yeah.
a game changer. Mm-hmm.
I'm the only one to drink coffee. Well,
Good
this kind
morning,
of
girl.
coffee,
Just
and this
said
is good.
coffee. Look, good morning, girl. She said coffee. Like, yeah. But
Yeah, a little
baby,
coffee.
it's a game changer. I'm telling you. You don't taste the coffee or any of that. Is you don't taste it. It just does something to the flavor. It makes it so robust. It gives it like a little right over the top. Okay,
Yeah.
let me go back to the comment. Lupac says, I think one of the most major setbacks of our race was the Black Wall Street massacre in Tulsa. Can only imagine how much further in generational wealth we would be had that event not happened. We're gonna come back to that. And Good Morning Gorgeous says, child, coffee and gravy sounds crazy. I know it do, girl. I know it do, but trust me, it ain't. She said, I'm going to try it too. Yep, baby, try it. Especially if you a scratch gravy maker, you put that little bit, not a lot, just a little bit. And I would put less than a little bit and add till you can taste the difference. Because I don't measure, so I'm a loose wrist, meaning like my wrist is loose. That's how I measure. But yeah. Yep. So we're going back to the Black Wall Street Massacre. Are you all familiar with the Black Wall Street Massacre that Lupac brought up?
Ooh, sissy, it smells so good.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Oh, Daddy might
It's a
not get none of these.
girl, you can't do that to your dad. That's what you're gonna do to your daddy.
No, I'm just kidding. I'm gonna eat one though.
I got excited. Y'all see Rocky like Sophia. She go over there cooking. I ain't cooking nothing over here. Rocky like Sophia.
Oh,
Woo! That was funny. Okay, good morning, gorgeous. Say interested in hearing the Tulsa massacre and its impact. Um, was it 19? Was it the 1800s? It was either the late 1800s or the early 1900s. Which one was it, Lupop? Was it the late 1800s or the early 1900s? When they went in, I thought it was. I thought they call it Greenwood too, though. But was Greenwood in Tulsa? I think maybe Greenwood was in Tulsa. Huh. I'm having a brain fart. Let me see. Greenwood in Tulsa. I don't remember, but anyway, they had like 30 or 40 blocks. They had their own banks, their own stores, their own 1921. That might be that sounds excuse me, that sounds about right. Hi to everyone in the chat. I'm making fried tilapia, some leftover mac and cheese, and cabbage with bacon for dinner tonight. Honey, you gonna put your foot in it. That sounds so good. Mm-hmm. And it was the group of people who did it. They were supposed to be what? Self-appointed deputies or something like that. Or was they self-appointed deputies or police officers or whatever the case may be? And they came in by the mobs and just took those people's businesses, churches, schools, everything, and destroyed it all. They killed all those people, took their bodies and just threw them over. I think it was like maybe 200 and some black people ended up becoming deceased, and 40 or 50 of the Caucasians, because they did try to fight back. Now they did, but they were overwhelmed with it. And if I'm not mistaken, was some reparations given out from that? Lupac, do you know? But y'all, guess what it started from? Anybody? Except for Lupac, because she knows. What do y'all think it started from? Hey, Miss Sexy Ray. Somebody? Y'all don't, I'm gonna tell y'all. It was a man. He was a shoe shine boy. I don't know if he was a man or a boy. I think he was a teenager. He was shining shoes. And the woman said that he assaulted her by the elevator or some crap like that. What was it? In the elevator, by the elevator? Which one, Lou? Lou Pop, come up here and help me with this story, girl. But anyway, the man was supposed to have did something to the woman. So they were going to lynch the man. They were going to lynch him for what he had supposedly done to the women. But honey, the black brothers was like, ain't going to happen today. Not today. You ain't going to do it. And they went around the jailhouse and they surrounded it to keep that man from being lynched. And that's what started it. He told her, I think first the sheriff was like, no, y'all don't have to do that. I got it. We're going to take care of it. All of that's not going to happen. And I'm just using today's terminology, guys, because I'm sure that's not how it was said, but I'm just saying it in terms that everyone can relate to today. And the sheriff was like, nah, y'all go ahead, man. We got it. That ain't going to happen. But they ended up somebody shot at somebody first. And yeah, it went down. It left after they killed the I'm sorry, the unaliving, the burnings, and all of that was done. I think it was over 10,000 people that were left without. Oh yeah, the three survivors, they were women. One of them's still alive, right? Yeah, they're seeking reparations. They were little girls, and you guys would have to hear them tell the story. Like they remember. It was one woman that's still alive. She talked about how her daddy had tucked them all away to keep them safe. That reminds me of Rosewood. Have y'all seen the movie Rosewood? You know, those are true events too. Anybody y'all seen it? No? And there have been some, let me see. I can't remember, but it has been some politicians who has fought for reparations for those families. There's been some that has tried to fight for it for them. I do know that. It was like a Memorial Day weekend, so it comes up quite frequently. It'll be coming up here soon. Memorial Day weekend is when it comes up quite frequently. I am that somebody says yes. I'm assuming she's saying yes. She's seen the movie Rosewood. It kind of reminds me of that. And she's Lupac says if y'all haven't watched the series called Lovecraft Country on HBO with Jonathan Majors, it has a depiction in it of what happened during the massacre and so much more. Yes, Rosewood movie had me on pins and needles. Spicy Brown, every year during February, we pick a movie every night to watch. I try to make sure my kids are well educated, not just history, but Black history. And we watch, like the Root series. We watch Amistad, all those kind of movies like that. Another movie, Queen. I don't know if y'all have ever seen Queen, but she was the grandmother to all that had happened for the guy from Roots. So yeah, I try to make sure that my kids are well versed in those things and know. Stacy says Lovecraft was an awesome series. Sad they canceled it. I know. I remember the first one that came on, girl. I was like, I don't know, this might be scary. I don't think I want to watch this. But if you continue to watch, you'll see it and have a better understanding of it. And so I don't want to get too far away. We're gonna get on the 13th Amendment. And somebody was talking about how they want to take the Black man out of the home. And it's a strategic system, guys, and it keeps us down. It keeps us down and without in a broken family. In a broken family. And it's awful. It's awful. Studies show that the families without a dad and a mom in the home are so much worse than those with. And something has to change somewhere. People have been fighting for this forever. Let's see. Good morning, Gorsia says, wow, I just read up on it. My folks were from Oklahoma. I need my inheritance and reparations. I could probably be rich. So good morning. How is your family from Oklahoma and you not know about it? I'm going to need y'all to do better, love. I'm really going to need y'all to get it together. You might be rich, girl. If you find out you got some reparations now, excuse me, let me hold something, okay? Let me hold something. Lupat says Lovecraft Country is based on in the 1950s Jim Crow, and when I say it showcases a lot about history and things that happen, like Aunt Jemima and Bugaboos. Y'all need to cover it, Miss White. Mm-hmm. Do y'all know what the Bugaboos are? She says, I'm talking about my ancestors a couple of generations back. Mm-hmm. Yep. And that's something. I'm just in awe that she's from Oklahoma and didn't know about it. Where did Sissy go? She ran away.
I'm right here. I was trying to figure out how to put a message in the chat. I was gonna ask you was your smoke detector beeping? Cause my grandpa is acting weird and he don't know he does that way your smoke detector queen.
You said it's my smoke detector beeping?
Mm-hmm.
Why you say that again?
Because my granddog acts weird when he hears it, he panics.
No, I have smart detectors. They don't beep, they talk.
Oh, he hears something, and I was like, he's used to the microwave, noise when I turn the microwave. But like if I'm playing a live and somebody's smoke detector is beeping, he can hear it, and he started acting real crazy.
I'm actually sitting right up under one, and you might hear it say something every now and then. Um, but it don't beep.
I'm
Um,
just adding my milk to my potatoes. I warmed it up first, and waiting on my cauliflower to get done.
she says, "Oh, even a depiction of Emmett Till, which was actually added later to the show. My ex-husband, his mother was Emmett Till's classmate. My ex-husband, his mother was Emmett Till's classmate. Yeah." And let's see. Good morning, Gorgeous says, my granny was born in 1920 but moved to California as a teen, so I don't know that part of my history. Oh, that makes sense. That makes sense. I understand now. Oh, okay. So you never heard anybody in your family speaking on it prior to Good Morning, Gorgeous talking about it? And how does it make you feel now just hearing about it, knowing that your family was so close to something so horrific? Does it make you feel any kind of a way? No? Okay. So yeah. Um what was I saying? I just drew a blank. I don't know what I was saying. Oh, anyway, we were talking about this show that we were watching, and we got to so yeah. As it goes on in the documentary, it'll talk about the different presidential candidates and presidents in themselves who wanted to combat this war on crime. So then it'll take us to President Bill Clinton. Good morning, Gorgeous says, terrible. I feel so sad yet grateful that they are fought for our freedom. And when they get to the part about President Clinton, they talk about this infamous thing that happened with his wife where we were called super predators. Do y'all know about that? Anybody know about the Clintons and the super predator situation? Or do y'all even know what a super predator is? She says, that's why I feel like it's so important to vote, etc., because they went through hell to get those rights. Hell and high water, baby. Anybody, y'all know what super predators are? Now they just call them like habitual criminals. They're always gonna do something. Like you can bank on something going wrong, you can bank on them doing it. Like they keep You know, they if it's something to be done, they're the ones who gonna do it. They menaces. You know, that's a super predator. So I think it was a time when they said that Hillary Clinton, she was giving a speech and she called the people super us our people super predators, and it was a big debacle about that, even for the election. And then her husband went on to sign a bill, the three strikes law or rule. Are y'all familiar with the three strikes rule that incarcerated a big percentage of our black brothers and some of our sisters? And he later had to go back and say that he was wrong, that he should not have done that, and that it really did like just stereotype a certain group of our people. Are you all familiar with that at all? No, nobody. Oh, good morning. Gorgeous said yes. She so you are familiar with that? Oh, she remembered the three strikes rule. But he later, later years, he had to go back and retract some of his statements on that and acknowledge that it was wrong, because it was. Because then it goes back to the crimes. He says way too young to remember that time period. Yeah. Um, how you could take again the black man and the white man doing the exact same crime and the outcome come out completely different, like completely different. So you be like, huh? And you guys, it still happens to this day. It still happens to this very day. And and there is a small difference in it now because we have a better voice. We have a better voice in the situation, and we can be heard a little better. The small town where I'm from, mm, in the era that I was going through, it was a district attorney. His name was
Uh-oh. Sissy disappeared. Hey, MJ.
StreamYard just kicked me out.
Really?
They just kicked me out. I don't know what happened, but I'm back. Um, what was I saying? Oh, where I'm from, a little town called Lumberton, North Carolina. It is midway between New York and Florida. And right in the middle is Lumberton, halfway point. They call it the honey hole. So in the late 80s, in the 90s, it got the name the honey hole because that's where the drop offs and the pickups and the meet me halfways were done for the drug game. Okay. And in this little small, poor, desolate town and county, a whole lot happened. A whole lot happened. It's been said that the sheriff was involved. The sheriff, it was a guy, he just recently passed. His name was Ted Parker. And Ted Parker was a millionaire that owned a lot of things, but he had a mobile home company and he built mobile homes, double wides, triple wides, single wides, all that. And he shipped them throughout the country. And that's how they transported a lot of drugs. And the sheriff, he let a lot of things happen. Nonetheless, in this small little poor town, it was a lot of corruption. And we seen a lot of things happen. A lot of things happen. I can remember being out at a nightclub one time, and there was this guy. God bless him. He's dead and gone because his name was Devon, and he was a dope boy. And something apparently where they had went in and tried to rob his mom or robbed his mom, and he went out and he retaliated at a little juke joint club, a little hole in the wall that we used to hang out at, where I've seen people fall dead right at my feet because he came spraying, baby. And he went and turned himself in. And they say that he jumped in the river after that. But it's been said that he didn't jump in the river because he worked for the sheriff and all of them. And before he went down for all those multiple murders, he would tell everything he knew. So they say that they took his life. But nonetheless, I'm just sharing like how corrupt the little town I grew up in. And if you ever heard, and I know y'all have heard of Ben Crump, the attorney Ben Crump, he fights for the black man rights when they have injustice from the police and all of that. Y'all have heard of Ben Crump, right? How many in the chat? Can y'all put a one in the chat if y'all have heard of Ben Crump? Good morning, gorgeous says yes. Well, I think he first became well known in the Trayvon Martin case. Well, I grew up with Ben Crump, like his back door to my back door type. His family's back door to my back door. His sisters and aunties and all them did my hair. Miss Judy said, "No, ma'am, you haven't heard of Ben Crump?" Oh God, he was the lawyer for George Floyd, um, Trayvon Martin. Let me look up who some of his cases are right quick. You gotta know who Ben Crump is. Not connected. That was my smoke detector. Did you hear it, sissy? Okay, Dwayne Washington, which I don't even know who he is, but that's a $641 settlement. And then there was the Flint, Michigan settlement for the children in Flint, Michigan, where they got $27 million for a family. George Floyd, Breonna Taylor. Yeah, y'all. I'm sure y'all are familiar with those cases. So that's Ben Crump. We grew up together. She says, "Oh, Miss Judy says she's in Illinois, 45 minutes from Chicago. The man beat the cops up in Memphis." Yeah, all those cases. Like I know you said you live far away, but he's worldwide. Like he handles the biggest of the biggest cases. Ready to connect. Follow quick start instructions. She says, "I know of the people, but I didn't care about their lawyers, just whether they got justice or not." And Ben's part in this is the money part. Like he don't go out and fight for the litigation and all of that and for the criminal part, but he does the monetary part after all of that is concerned. And he he often speaks of it because of the things that he saw growing up in our little town, in our small little bad town, y'all. When you hit the Guinness Book of World Records, that tells you a lot. Christy Smith said the first attorney that comes out when it's white on black crime. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. And I can attest. Like, I'm gonna tell y'all a story about being when I was a little girl. I used to get picked on. Like, I used to get bullied when I was a little kid. And I remember it was we were going with the 4-H group. I think it was a 4-H program or something. We were going to go to a field trip to the battlefield in Wilmington, North Carolina, and I was being picked on. And I was being picked on, and I was crying. And Ben walked me home. He made him leave me alone. He walked me home, told me to clean my face up and change my shirt because my shirt got dirty and all of that, and walked me back to the park. So I'm saying that to say Ben has been taken up for people a long time. He didn't just start doing this. Now, I'm not going to say that it's not for the money, but I can guarantee you he didn't start this for the love of money. It wasn't why he started. Ben has always been very wholesome. We thought he would always be a preacher because he went to church every time the key went in the peephole at St. Mary Church. Yep. Mm-hmm. She said, that's why I haven't heard of him. I wanted the popo to get theirs. Spicy Brown said, my cousin was married to a McCoy from Lumberton. Name but one set of McCoys in Lumberton. I am somebody says, you're from Wilmington. No, I'm not from Wilmington. We were going to Wilmington, which is like an hour away. We were going to see the battleship, the actual battleship in one of the wars. We were going through the 4-H summer program. Yeah, but I'm from Lumberton, and Wilmington is right down the street, like an hour away. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So shout out to Attorney Ben Crump Esquire. Yep, he's a cool dude. I don't care how much money he make or how famous he gets. He never forgets where he comes from, and he know his people. He don't forget people. So shout out to Ben. Yep. So easy for me to get off topic. So yeah, I was talking about that to talk about corruption. So I was saying I grew up watching corruption, seeing it like firsthand, to the point where although the little town I'm from is very small, a lot happened in that small town to where politicians were unalived if they came against the opposition, not once but twice. It was a group of guys. Where I'm from is Indians, right? The Lumbee Indian. That's the home of the Lumbee Indian. And it was a group of guys who went and they held the newspaper company hostage, trying to bring attention to a lot of the things that were going on in this little town. Y'all ever get a chance, look it up. Lumberton, North Carolina. So small, but oh my God, so much stuff. So I have watched and experienced things firsthand with the racism and slavery, just how things has transitioned from then to now. And I'm gonna say, even as a young girl, it wasn't nice to see. It wasn't nice to see or hear. I grew up in a time watching black men speak to white men and saying, yes, sir, yes, sir, yes, sir. Yeah, believe it or not. And I remember being a young girl and wanting to work in the blueberry field and tobacco field. My dad, he would let us go work in the tobacco field, but only with him. And he would be like, y'all ain't going out there working for, y'all forgive me, but he would say, them crackers. Y'all ain't going out there with them crackers by yourself. I'll take you out there, but you ain't going by yourself. But I learned how to drive in the tobacco field on a 4-speed. Yeah. And I grew up watching and witnessing a lot of this stuff, and that could be one of the reasons why I'm so impartial to it. But yeah, I've seen it firsthand. I've seen a lot, and I've witnessed a lot as well. And then I saw earlier in the chat where I think it was Good Morning Gorgeous asked about the burning of the cross for the KKK. And I don't know if you heard when y'all were listening. That was Van Jones from CNN speaking. That was Van Jones talking about the cross burnings, and they were sharing that it was no such thing as cross burnings with racism prior to that movie that had been made that the president Lyndon B. Johnson had played at the White House. He did a premiere to that movie, and they were burning crosses as just something in the movie that they made up, and people picked that up and really started burning crosses. And that's how the KKK thing came to burning crosses as a form of intimidation to black people, meaning if they burnt a cross in your yard, they were coming for you. So, yeah, that's real. Like it was all made up in a movie, and they picked it up and ran with it. I think it was Good Morning Gorgeous who had asked that question. Yeah, that's what it was. Yep, yep, yep. So, um, I don't know how often. Back when Jared first came out, he had did a video where I had spoke on that thing, and that's one of the reasons why I'm a big advocate for the black man. Like, I don't like to see our black men mistreated, belittled. I think that we should hold them up as well as hold them accountable, but hold them up in their kingliness, to treat them like kings, even if we don't consider them to be kings, but at least treat them like kings. Because if you do it long enough, they'll begin to act like it, so to speak. But I just feel like they've been done so wrong for so long, and they need to get back in their rightful place as ruler. Not so much ruler, but head as well, ruler. They need to get back in their rightful place as the head. And we women, oh, Mother's Day is right around the corner. We women need to understand that we are moms and we're not dads. A lot of us take on the role as the mother and the father, but we're not the father. Nothing agitates my soul more on Father's Day when I see women saying Happy Father's Day to me. No, you are a mother, honey. You're not a father. And we treat these men like that, and then they don't want to stand up. It's almost like they don't know their place because we snatch everything away from them and don't let them be the men that we want them to be. And when I see women babying their little boys, I be like, you raising that baby. And you're going to see it again. But yeah, I just believe that wholeheartedly. I do. And people get mad at me for saying it, but oh well. I just believe that we need to hold our men up. They have the weight of the world on their shoulders already, just being a black man. Just being a black man. And it's us women as moms starting out when these boys are very young and not handling them in the appropriate way. They need a man in their life. And they may not be the best man, but at least they will have some sort of guidance from a man, because I strongly believe that none of us women can teach a man how to be a man. And if you think you can, you are sadly mistaken. Now, there are instances of women who have raised men and they go on to be well off, mentally, some financially and physically, and things of that certain, well, they'd be all right. But I will say this, studies have shown that they are always lacking something. They are always missing something. And when you see that black man that was raised by mom and grandma and seems like he's doing well, he struggles. He struggles. It might not never tell mama, but he gonna sit on somebody's couch and tell him what he struggled with. You can believe that. You can believe that.
Sissy.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so I got mashed cauliflower and mashed potatoes. See, tell me if you can tell which one is which.
You want me to tell or you want the chat? Because you know I'm
the chat. The chat.
That's right, Christy, and we still have a lot of slavery mindsets. Can you see it? Can y'all see that? You might have to kind of hold your hand over to put one up and kind of block you got a backlight. Go behind it.
That better?
Now tilt it in a little bit more. Can y'all see that now? Okay, how about the other one?
Okay, that's A, and this is B.
So put if you think his A was mashed potatoes, put an A if you think it was mashed potatoes, the first one. And a B if you think the mashed potatoes was the second one. So if you think it was the first one she showed, put an A. If you think it was the second one she showed, put a B. They asked for you to show it again, sissy.
Okay. This is A.
Is that mashed potatoes?
And this is B.
B. Spicy Brown said B is mashed potatoes. Krista says she can't really tell, but she think it's B. Good morning, Georgia said B. Brandy Gibson says A. Anybody? Lou Pop, where you at? What you think? She said we all over the place. Great job.
I'm sorry. I wanted to show y'all before I put the lids on them.
It's okay. How do y'all like this? Do y'all like just one of us cooking and one commentating? Good morning, gorgeous. It's funny to me, y'all. She about to make me laugh again. She about to give me another episode of last night. She said, I only said B because it's more in the bowl.
Cause it's what?
More in the bowl.
Oh Lord.
Is she right? Which one
B
is it?
is the potatoes. B is the potatoes.
So Brandy was right. Go ahead, Brandy. Brandy said she trick y'all. We'll show y'all a hole with a trick with a hole in it. Lil Pop says I can't see the consistency good enough to tell because of the lighting. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Good morning says yes. I like one person cooking and the other engaging in conversing. Although she still should be conversing with us, but she ain't thinking about us, y'all. She ain't thinking about us. She said I was all wrong. She said I was all wrong. Mm-hmm. Good morning, gorgeous. Honey, look, good morning, gorgeous said something last night on Amber's Live, and I just laughed and laughed and laughed.
I heard you.
I couldn't stop laughing.
Yeah, I was laying in the bed listening last night. I was getting over a migraine. I had to take a shot yesterday.
I woke up with a very bad headache, and I could not. Actually, it went away when we went live. Like it just automatically. Let me find out y'all my cure. That's probably why I love y'all so much.
Right.
All morning, like it would not let up. Raining cats and dogs. I thought I was about to flare, honey. I was like, Lord Jesus, y'all see my shirt?
Yeah, it's supposed to rain here today.
Can y'all see my shirt? Y'all know this month is
oh yeah, lupus.
National Lupus Aware. Which camera am I on? Oh Lord. Can y'all see
I
that?
like that. It's cute.
Lupus Warrior. And I got Chat and Chew in the middle of it. You
Oh,
see
I
that?
didn't see that. Oh, I see it now. Yeah, that's nice. Okay, girl. Yes, honey. Serve. That's cute.
Chat and Chew with Lupus Warrior.
When they
Thank
have
y'all.
a lupus walk here, I'm gonna walk for
Oh,
you.
thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, this is all month of May. It's Lupus Awareness Month. So yeah, thank y'all for the purple hearts. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. I appreciate it. I appreciate it. Yep, yep, yep. My Lupus Warrior. I got another. I have different ones made, so y'all see me wearing different ones throughout the lives this month. I got some made that say Loopy Chick. That's something that we women, lupus women, call ourselves a loopy chick. Lupie chick. Yep, yep, yep. We do that a lot. Y'all know what? This whole time I thought I was on this camera up here. That's all right.
How many cameras you got on?
Well, I have the camera on, I'm on the laptop.
Oh,
Can y'all hear that? You hear that
I heard
scratching?
some. What was that?
Ice. I'm upstairs. I can hear him out right there. So
Oh.
I have the camera that's installed in the laptop, but I didn't like it, so I had connected another camera to it. And the whole time I thought I was on that camera.
Mm-mm.
How about that?
Good
And
thing you
there's a
didn't do
difference in it.
nothing suspect. Thinking he was off the
What?
camera.
What would I have done?
I don't know. Dug in your butt. Mm.
Can you see the difference in the camera? I just switched it to the other one. You see the difference?
That one just comes right to your neck.
Because I have it sitting. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. There we go. Yeah, I thought I was on that camera the whole time, but yeah, I'm glad I'm not a lewd person. Yeah, I typically we do. I don't think we have them on this one, but I have been putting hashtags up, and I'm gonna start getting better with that. Thank you, Lil Pop, for the L's and the hearts, the purple hearts.
I like to lick the spatulas.
He a crybaby. Hold on, guys.
That.
Yeah, his ear been bothering him. I'm gonna take him to the doctor Monday. He just cries. We bought some little ear things to put in his ear to massage his ear.
Mm-hmm.
Medication, but I don't know. I'm gonna take him to the doctor.
Hmm.
Hold on. I'm sorry. He just a big old baby. He's just a big old baby.
He want to be in the room with you.
Honey, I don't play that. I don't play them games. He got his own area in the house where he could chill. He ain't going to my room. He ain't going to my kitchen. And he can't sit on my furniture. And he know too. So yeah, y'all. What was we at? We was talking about the black man. The black man can, y'all. That's another thing I like to say. The black man can. Because they can do a lot. They can do a lot. Oh, I was on that my soapbox about women on Father's Day saying that Happy Father's Day to me.
Mm-hmm.
I wish we wouldn't do that, ladies. I wish we wouldn't do that to restore our men's crowns where they supposed to be.
Yeah. I see a lot of that on Facebook. Yeah.
And I get it, like they making it happen. As women, we making it happen. You doing what you got to do, but
You still not the pappy.
you're not. And if you, that's why we got to be careful. We got to be make better decisions with who we lay down with.
Say that. Say that.
We
Man.
got to be careful with who we lay down with and why
Yep.
and why. One of the hardest things in the world I ever had to do was let the oldest boy go stay with his dad.
Mm.
But I did it. I mean, he went. That was hard for me. That was very, very hard. But we as women, y'all, let's be real. We like to stay in control of everything. Like we
Hmm.
won't be in control of it all. And it's not a good place. But I wish I could have got this documentary to show all the way through. If y'all ever get the opportunity, just fast forward past the first part because we've talked about that part. And it's going to go into just what the government has put in place to keep us down. Like,
Yep.
just learning stuff. Abraham Lincoln signed that bill, but he didn't believe in that. He only signed it because he had pressure. He didn't believe in the abolition of slavery. He wanted to stay right there.
Hmm.
So we just gotta do better as a people. Watch documentaries, learn things so you can kind of understand why things work, how things work, um, and who they work for. Who they work for. Um, we as black women, we have a lot of work to do. We have a lot of work to do. I think it's sad when we have these high profile black men, i.e., athletes and things of that nature, and they turn to another race of women because they think we are hard to deal with. If that's who you love, that's who you love, but don't let it be a prerequisite to why you choose a certain type of woman.
Right.
Thank you for coming in, Chatty. You are absolutely right. We have to do better as a people. As a people, that's why I advocate for voting. And you don't hear me talking too much about voting for a president because that's not where it's at. I'm not saying don't vote for a president. That's not what I'm saying. But what I am saying is I advocate for small elections. I advocate for small elections, um, to keep our roads better, better stores, learning about zoning in your community, how you get certain things in your community. And if you can make your community a better place, then you can probably help make your town a better place. And after your town becomes a better place, the state becomes a better place. And from the state to the whole US to the world, it's steps, is what I'm trying to say. And I know it sounds like I'm just chattering and saying things, but guys, is the truth. How many people in the chat right now can tell you who your local judges are? Is there anybody? Is there anybody who knows who their precinct leader is or their councilman for their area? Do y'all know who y'all councilman is? Do you know the duties of the councilman? Chatty says me. Lupot says me.
I
That's
don't know the duties of the councilman, Sissy. Can you tell me?
You don't know what the purpose
The
of the
duties of the councilman. What are their duties?
Hold on one second. What's wrong with them? Sissy, talk to them for a minute. Let me help her. Give me 1 second.
Okay, guys. Sissy's doing something, and we remind us we're on the duties of the councilman. So, for those of you that missed it, we have mashed cauliflower as a substitution for mashed potatoes, but I did mix a little bit of mashed potatoes in there, cheap for my dad. Don't tell my mama though. He's not supposed to have a lot of mashed potatoes because he has to count so many this and that, for health reasons. And so this was mixed vegetables, but since I made mashed cauliflowers, um, I just gave him mostly the broccoli and the carrots out of it, and I seasoned that with garlic, a little bell pepper, a little red onion, and then of course the cabinet seasonings and spices, a little margarine. So I'm gonna load this up, and he gets to eat that and smothered pork chops and gravy. I don't know if y'all can see that from there, but I'm gonna show it to you up close once I get it in a container. Actually, I thought I was letting it still simmer. So yeah, his birthday is Monday. Good old Taurus, the bull, stubborn bull. Hi, my poo. Hey, bro. Hey, cheese. Hey, sexy. Good morning, gorgeous girl. You off the chain. Hey, Bridget. Black seed. Oh, you talking to Good Morning Gorgeous? Black seed oil. Not much, bro. Just cooking my dad's birthday dinner so he can enjoy it over the weekend. He like to eat. He's very slim and tall though, but he has the appetite of a 300-pound man. So yeah. What y'all having for tomorrow for Sunday dinner? I will. He might be peeping, sneaking and geeking, as Tiff say. He might be looking at this live if my sister got it on for him. Not too tech savvy. What y'all doing this weekend? Y'all ready for this Mother's Day giveaway? Teddy says, I'm listening to my daughter sing. This girl is on fire. Hey, yeah, okay. She know good music. I like that song, Alicia Keys. You say you about to throw some water? Oh, Chetty, don't do my baby. Don't do her. Let her sing loud. Shoot, she gonna be on stage performing one day with her sweet self. My birthday is Wednesday, and yes, we stubborn. Yes, Bridget, y'all are. Woo! Stubborn. For real, the bull. Cheese said he thinking about cooking cooking a roast tomorrow. That sound good. You should have see you came on stage and cook with me. Side by side. Yep. Could got it sizzling for tomorrow's dinner. It'd be all done. Okay, y'all. Sissy back. Hey, Miss Lysander. Miss Lysander. Lysander. Hi.
Oh, can you hear me now? Okay. All right. So you asked me about the local councilman. They help get things done in your community.
No, the position of the was it the councilman or the chairman?
I mean, your local councilman, your precinct leader.
Local councilman. Yeah. You said they just help get things done in the city, such as like if it's a pothole in the street, tearing up your car.
I mean, just a number of things. If you want a stop sign put up on your street,
Mm-hmm.
road taken down, they're supposed to do things such as, let's say, I'm giving an example. You got somebody who needs somewhere to stay. You know, they're looking for a place to live, things like that. They're supposed to help you out with different things like that. They stay in the know of what's going on uh,
Okay.
around you. And those are little things that we should know.
Mm-hmm.
And that's little things that
Yeah,
we should.
we should. Yep. But
But
I
that,
just always been one of those people that doubted people do what they're supposed to do.
mhm.
You know.
But see, the mistake comes in that we're looking for the president to solve everything for us, and we miss the ladder. We miss all the steps of the ladder going up because the president can't do nothing without Congress. He don't really make no decisions. I mean, he sign off on them, but the battle comes out of Congress. He
Yeah.
brings laws, new businesses come into town. Yeah, like in the hood, all you see is chicken places and liquor stores.
Mm-hmm.
Get with your people and say, hey, we want to see something different. Like where I live at now, I don't live in the well-to-do neighborhood. I live in the same community that I service. I live in the very
Mm-hmm.
same community that I service. I love my people, and I didn't try to move far away from them or any of that. And when they're in need, they know how to reach out to me instantly. And I just drew a blank that fast. But the councilman helps with homelessness problems. Just a lot of things in general. But what I was gonna say is when she put up about businesses coming to town, if you tired of seeing chicken spots and liquor stores, oh, that's how I got to that. I'm sorry, y'all. Where I live at, we don't see that anymore. So now we have doctors' offices, things that can help the community better, better stores instead of the mom and pop stores where you can't get everything that you need or at a good price because the mom and pop stores cost more money because it is what it is. They're not big establishments. So um, we have to know our place. Let me read this comment. Lupa says, Chatty, I wish you would. I don't you dare heifer let me. Oh, don't you dare let my niece pop her ish because yo be offbeat too. Let's see. Miss Bridget said, allows a new business coming to town. Miss Sean says, hey, Queens, happy Saturday. Love and support to you both. Thank you so much, Sean. We appreciate that. But yeah, it's a long way to go before you get to the president. And y'all know I told y'all last week, I don't care who the president is, it's the wife that runs the country. With the exception of 45. I don't think his wife ran the country. Uh yeah. She didn't care about none of that stuff. And he not gonna listen to what nobody else got to say anyway, so she can't tell him what to do. She cannot tell him what to do. How y'all feel about 45 getting back in office again? Anybody? Y'all okay with it? Anybody? Y'all know who 45 is? You know who 40? What you putting in the pot now?
That's just the mixed vegetables that I have fixed. I'm just packing it up for my dad.
Oh, okay. I'm gonna drop the link again if anybody want to come up. Y'all want to tell me how y'all feel about 45 coming up again, coming in office again? Anybody? Y'all don't know how y'all feel about if 45 was to get up in that house again? Because y'all know, like, typically what happens is whatever party has the seat in the White House, the opposing party normally runs the congressional part of it. Chad said, oh, so you're going to do me publicly. I said what I said. And another don't do me because I was a songstress in my past life. Chatty, don't make me laugh. Y'all don't make me laugh. Because y'all know if I start laughing, I can't stop. Like it's a condition I have. I don't know what it's called, but I'm gonna make it. I'm gonna make up something one
Giggle
day.
box.
Miss Bridget said, "I do not want him in office. He needs to be in jail." Lupac says, "Honestly, I don't know how I feel about it just yet. At this point, I think a smart crackhead can be president." To be honest, I don't have a feeling about it. They're all the same, in my opinion. Spicy Brown says, "Well, if Biden's reelected, we're getting the lesser of two evils." Chatty said, Lupac says, "Chatty, I love you, though." And she says, "Love you too, boo." Lupac said, "At this point, I think a smart crackhead can be president." Let me tell you something. Me and my husband was having a conversation about it yesterday because, like, when he comes from work, he rushing in to catch up on what happened with his trials because there's no cameras in there. And he'd be like, "I just think it's so ridiculous. How can this man just still run for office? All this crap he done." I said, "You know what? They never put it. They never wrote it in the books." He was like, "That's crazy, though." I said, "Oh, girl, that looked good." You got that coffee in there and everything, right? Um,
Yep.
yeah, comedy is a whole other subject. But I was like, they never ever put it. They never wrote that into it. It was just like you had to be a certain age and be a U.S. citizen born. And they never thought that somebody of his caliber would ever dare to ever try to run for presidency. So it's gonna take, honestly, for the Democrats to get control of the House and the Senate to get those things passed, to put those stipulations on who can run for presidency again. Like they're gonna have to change some things, but it's not gonna happen under their watch. It's gonna have to be a time when they both can run the House and the Senate. And I saw what somebody said the lesser of two evils. Yeah, they like to say that Biden is losing his mind, but I think the man's sharp. I don't think. I mean, look, with time, all of us slow down. Period. Point blank. We all slow down, but he know it. He know. The morning gorgeous said Michelle Obama should run. Do y'all know she hate politics? She does not like politics at all. Did y'all know that? She support her husband, but everything in her. She used to be his boss, but she don't do politics. She said you ain't got to ever worry about her running. But I hope God come down and blow on her and change her mind. What y'all think? Y'all think he can do it? She said Biden got to quit falling asleep on people mid conversation though. You're right, Lupa, but that's what they have all those assistants and stuff for. Because even if he didn't fall asleep, they still don't look. Even the young people don't know what's going on. That's why they got them people with them to write down, and to remember for them. If he was a young man with all his senses still working at full capacity, they don't remember. That's why they have all those people in the room to take care of all that for them. But you're right though, it's not a good look overall. It's not a good look. I'm not gonna disagree with that. And hey guys, y'all look at me speaking to Troy. Hey Troy. How you, Troy? Where's Miss Mel? Bridget says, "Good morning, gorgeous girl. It scared me because it worked. I could feel it go through my body. Cycle came on and weight coming off. What worked? What I miss? Did I miss something? What I miss? What worked? Oh, I don't like this laptop. Get on my nerves. Can you put in the chat again what worked, Miss Bridget?" And Miss Shawn says, at this point, I don't think it's going to make a difference who's in the office. Biden didn't do much, so who are we left with? Chatty says this is the least transparent office I've seen, in my opinion, which is my concern with them. Amber says, I like the new name, Sean. Listen. Oh, the Black Sea. I'm telling y'all. They need to give me a job doing commercials for them, because Black Sea oil works. It does. But I didn't know. She said she's losing weight. I never thought about that. Leland says, I really don't care for either, but he is the lesser of two evils. So based off what Chatty said, she said the least transparent office in her opinion. So Chatty, would you rather have a office that's least transparent, or one that's overly transparent as Trump is, in ways that kind of get them in trouble? Like, I don't know if I'm asking that question right. Let me find a way what I'm trying to ask. Would you rather have an office that's kind of tight-lipped like Biden them are, or somebody that's got loose lips and all over the place like as 45 does? She says they're really scared that Kamala Harris may have a chance to step in as president if Biden is reelected. That's yeah, and I get that too. But then, y'all, we can't forget that that's what Congress is there for. The chill factor say, Jesus, Amber, you are not messy. Amber is just as messy as they come. It just depends on how you want to define messy. She's not a bad messy, but hey. Did y'all see Amber's interview last night? Anybody? Did y'all watch Amber's interview? She says, I get what you're asking, and I prefer loose lips. I don't prefer 45, but I'd rather you hit me with it opposed to spoon feed me minuscule rations. Hey, that's a good point, Chatty. So you're saying, yeah, loose lips, but just somebody else loose lips. Maybe some loose lips that has a little more character and make a little more sense. She's misunderstood, Miss White. Yeah, she is, but she messy. But she a good kind of messy though. You know. How did y'all think I did for Amber's interview? Y'all know that was my first time interviewing anybody. What did y'all think? And Xfinity Fun Fuller. Welcome in. I don't think I've greeted you. Welcome to the chat. We have to learn how to vote for policy instead of people. Girl. Now you're talking, baby. Policy over the person. Chatty said that part. Are you talking about when I said somebody else with the loose lips? I agree. But my main thing now, and I don't know if you're just coming in, is where I'm, just trying to go into helping people to understand that although we should vote for our president, the change is made when we vote in these smaller local elections. That's where you see the change. Bridget says you did a great job, Miss White. Are y'all sure? Because I'm open for criticism. Tell me what I need to work on, because I'm gonna start interviewing people. So tell me what I need to pick up on, do better with, leave alone. You saw it too, Miss Sexy Ray? Oh, she said I was a councilwoman in my town. Oh, how fitting, Miss Ann. Tell me some of the things you did for your community. You want to come up, grab the link, and tell me some of the things you did and your responsibilities as a councilwoman? Because that was a question that was asked of me just a few minutes ago. I'm going to drop the link. You don't have to turn your camera on if you don't want to. So y'all think I can perfect that interviewing thing and get a little better with it? I dropped the link, Miss Fuller, if you would love to come up and tell us a little bit about being a councilwoman, some of the opportunities you've had to work with in your community, the ups and downs, the highs and lows. She says you're correct because the people can see and touch their council person. Oh, she says I'm at a church event. Leland says yes, but you have to watch out about policy because you will fall for whatever rhetoric they use to trap you because they go against something you are against, not knowing what they're going to hit you next. Let me read that again. Yes, but you have to watch out about policy because you will fall for whatever rhetoric they use to trap you because they go against something you are against, not knowing they're going to hit you next. Let me see if I can gather that. They go against the same thing. So you both oppose something. You both don't like something. But then next, it'll be you. Is that what you're saying? Like just because you all agree on something now, that next it may be something else. Okay, Miss Ann, it says you have to connect your microphone. So go back to the settings and just turn your mic on. Hey, son. Miss Bridget says I like it because you wasn't biased. I hope I didn't come off as being biased because I wasn't. That's not my intention at all. Yeah, you can't talk to people and only ask the good things about it. Like, because I don't think that would have been a good interview. Like, you got to hit them with some opposition at some point. Okay, Miss Ann is going to go do her. She has to hook her mic up. I think she's going to come up and tell us a little bit about the benefits of being a council person. See, y'all, look how God works. He always got a ram in the bush. We couldn't watch the video, but look, got a council person right here in the house. Sissy gravy look good, y'all. I think I'm gonna fry some chicken tomorrow and smother me down some gravy and onions, on maybe some collards or cabbage or something. Sissy loading the dishwasher. Y'all know I do not use the dishwasher. I'm so old fashioned and country. I wash my dishes in the sink with a little bit of bleach. She says, I'm not going to bite my tongue, Mama, too, because a lot of our black community ain't ready for me to shake the table up. Well, shake the table, baby. Shake the table. Let me give you this link. Grab that link and come on up here and shake the table. Because it's good to hear what a younger person's perspective is on politics. Y'all okay with Leland shaking the table? Miss Phil says, me too, Miss White. I wash my dishes. Because I just think by the time you scrape them and do all that other stuff, child, you can be done wash them dishes.
Hey, my back is bad, sissy.
Your who?
My spine. I can't be standing up washing every dish after I don't cook. But
Really?
I mean, if I didn't have a dishwasher, I would be trying to beg one of my kids to clean this kitchen up. My mama taught me wash the dishes as you go, wash them as you go, and you won't have a big
Yeah.
mess. So that's what I do. But since we got a dishwasher here, like I'm gonna take full advantage.
I have one, but I just don't use it. I bought me a nice, lovely farmhouse sink, and I just love it because it's so deep.
Yeah,
Um,
your sink will make
yeah,
you want to wash the dishes.
yeah, yeah. That big old farmhouse sink. Just wave your hand and the water come on, wave it and it get off. Yeah. Um, Miss Bridget, I did not cook anything today. We have decided that we will take turns cooking. She'll cook one week, I'll cook another week. Hopefully, sometimes we will have a guest, so neither one of us have to cook some weeks. And sometimes we will just play. And I think we can move through our lives a little better doing it that way. Um, just Sissy didn't engage with us as much. Uh, but I kind of thought she was going to get triggered too, because she watched the documentary and she didn't like, the slavery stuff. But I was sharing with her yesterday, like, it used to bother me. Things like that used to bother me a lot. And I'm gonna tell you when my perspective of that changed was when I learned where how the word nigga came about. When I learned how the word nigga came about, I was tickled. Like it didn't bother me no more. I was like, oh, okay. Do y'all know how the word nigga? Am I saying the right nigga? Yeah. Do y'all know? Do y'all know how the word nigga came to be?
Go on, break it down, sister.
I'm gonna see if anybody knows first. Put a one in the chat
Anybody?
if anybody knows where the word nigga derived from. We know it's from Negro, being the color black. We do know that, but the word nigga itself. I hear something beeping. Is that on your end or mine?
Oh, you might hear the dishwasher.
No, it's this phone.
Oh, hey, Miss Phelps, Mrs. Phelps. You said you understand. Hmm?
Did anybody answer me?
No.
Okay, y'all. So, you know, it's a racial slur and it's used to make us feel bad and hurt our feelings and all of that. But when I learned that it was actually from indigent white people who were kind of like the slave before the slave, but they were white people. They were indigent, poor, and uneducated, and all of that. They could not say the word Negro. They could not say Negro. So them trying to read the word, you know how back, y'all probably don't know, but you probably heard of when slaves were walking or going to do chores or going to the store or doing something for massa, they would get a pass to say he has like a permission slip to go wherever he was going. And so the indigents would be trying to read it to make sure he wasn't running away. He was supposed to be wherever he's supposed to be. And they couldn't read it as Negro. So they said, this nigga, trying to read the word Negro. And they would, or say the word Negro, and they were saying nigga, nigga. So it actually was because they were dumb or stupid or illiterate, whatever word you choose to use. And they couldn't say Negro. And they started, they would say nigga. and that's where it came from. So it's really a pun to them. Although I get it, they use it to make us feel bad, to throw, hate and shame and all that in our faces. But when you really look at how it came to be, like, who's really the dumb one? Who's really the bad person? So on and so forth.
I'm here with you, Sissy. It's a lot of in and out right now.
Oh, okay. I was
Leland's going to a
confused.
class.
My picture is up there, and I was like, hold on, what happened? But okay. But yeah, did y'all know that? Did y'all know they couldn't say nigger, negro, and they would say nigger. Did y'all know that? Anybody? No. I'm sure Lupac knew that. Lupac be knowing her history now. Did you know that, Lupac? But anyway, that kind of changed my perspective. Not saying that I agree with anybody, you know, calling people that word. I'm not
Yeah.
saying that at all, but it just made me kind of tickle, like, oh, so y'all was dumbasses, huh? Yeah, so that made me feel a little bit better about it. Yep, 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 yep. Anybody else in there? Did I miss any comments? No. Let's see.
Leland's gone to a class, Sissy.
Oh, is he?
Yeah, he said he would have came up, but he had a class to go to.
I'm gonna put the link back down because I think Miss Ann was trying to come up, but she had to turn her microphone on. And a lot of times, if people have never grabbed a link before, they don't know. And anybody in the chat, if y'all want to come up, you don't have to turn your camera on because we have ours on.
Yeah.
That's fine with me. And typically, this part of the show is where we're supposed to be highlighting a DV victim, survivor, should I
And our
say?
sponsorship as well.
And we don't have anybody who decided to come forward this week. I'm gonna read Lupac's comment that says, "I actually did, but I wanted someone else to answer. A lot of me learning our history came from my grandfather. Even though he quit school in the third grade to help in the field, he was very smart." Yeah. Um, I have my family is like that too. Like school wasn't for them. My um forefathers, they had kids just for hands. They had kids for hands because every time one got grown enough to marry off or leave home, that mean they were short staffed. My grandma used to say when her kids moved out, she broke their plate. They gone and I broke your plate. I mean you can't come back. You're gonna have nothing to eat on if you try to come back.
Wow. That's ruthless.
She says his nickname was actually Nig, and most of my family called me Lil Nig because I look just like him. Like me, they call me Roy Jr. forever. I was Roy Jr. forever. And I had to say, look, I'm my own person. I'm my own entity. I would appreciate if y'all quit doing that because my dad was a badass. Like, for real, badass. And I was living in his truth instead of my own. And I started becoming, doing some of the same stuff. Because y'all, let me tell you something. I used to be something. A fighter. I would fight, and I still will if I have to. But back then, honey, mm,
Sissy, you have got to watch the all the Queen's Men. Have you been watching that series
mm-mm.
with Eva Marcel, the one who won the little short one, the shortest one of all time that won America's Next Top Model, that show that Tyra Banks used to host?
I know who she is. I just
You would
Yeah,
love it. You would love it. She's a OG and she get it from her daddy.
I don't watch much television because since this whole saga thing, my time is spent on YouTube. I record. I still watch the soap operas. I still watch Young and the Restless and the Bold and the Beautiful, which I record and I catch it in my spare time. Um, Other than that, I don't really watch a lot of TV. Now, of course, Fridays are for the taking. Hubby and I we're gonna do our BMF. When BMF goes out of to and season ends, we do all the Power series. We
Uh-huh.
watch, and I do watch Married to Medicine.
Me too.
There's a couple other things, but it's like a lot of TV watching I don't do. And now I play catch up
Yeah.
from some of my favorite. But
The
I don't
Queen's
know,
Man
yeah.
is not that old though. It just came out within the last year, and it's fairly new, and it's got a lot of. I mean, the seasons, they're short
Hmm.
episodes, like literally 40 minutes long when you include commercials. But it's a good little skit, a little raunchy, gangster, but it's pretty good.
I'm gonna have to check it out.
Yeah, you'll
I'm
like it.
I'm finding myself with more TV time now that this saga is gone, done, over with. We got a
Yep.
little residue hanging around with it. But for the most part, it's a done deal. So I'm finding time to do some more TV time. Um, Not a lot because the food truck is picking up. We're back in
Hmm.
season. Whew, chill. Mm, 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 mm.
I'm gonna try to turn this camera on without messing up something. Okay, I did it.
Yep,
Still
yep.
got the pork chop simmering.
Oh, you still simmering them down, girl? I'm gonna
Simmering
some
them
something.
down.
I don't eat pork.
I know.
I don't eat pork, but you have inspired me to smother me some chicken down. I might do
Hmm.
some hamburgers or something. Smother them down up in some gravy, baby. I don't know, but I kind of wanted to make oxtails tomorrow for dinner. I don't know what I'm gonna do for Sunday dinner.
Y'all got some oxtails in the freezer, or you gotta go get them?
I have to
You
go
like
get
them
it.
fresh?
There probably is some in the freezer though, but I'm not going to dig. I'm not going to dig in that stuff. Hey, Blueberry, thank you for coming in.
Hey, Boots.
I have 4 freezers, but 2 is work related, 2 is home. But
Mm.
I don't like to dig on. She said, I got oxtails in the freezer. I know that's right, baby. Mm, mm,
Y'all
mm,
gonna
mm.
get jacked. Love me some oxtails.
You just recently cooked some, didn't you?
Yeah, I owed my sister a dinner, so she got some oxtails, and I cooked her up. Cooked them with some yellow rice and yellow rice and some red bean and rice, and I made some gravy for her, and
Look,
she took it.
Blueberry, can you see my shirt? Can you see my shirt, Blueberry? Let me get some of this here out the way. Is it out the way? I can't see the camera. It says Lupus Warrior, and then it has Chat and Chew in the middle. You see that? She's a Lupus sister.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I
Hmm.
have that in common.
Yeah. And this is our month, the month of May.
Yeah.
The month of May. I'm supposed to be posting something on our wall every day in regards to lupus, but I missed the first 3 days. Actually, I thought I posted something yesterday, but I must have dozed off and I didn't hit post. So, but I did today, and I'm gonna post a couple more things to catch up so I can be on target. Yep. Blueberry, when does your town, your city, do a lupus walk this month? Do you know? Because the 10th is actually the day, lupus day this year, on May 10th. But when do you or the closest place in time for you to do a lupus walk? And well, first I should ask, are you participating? Because whenever I do mine, guys, I would love some support if you guys could support us and send a donation to the walk. She says she don't know. Yeah. I'm on the Lupus Foundation of America. I don't know if you are, but if you sign up, that they'll send you emails and keep you in the know for your local area.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to sign up too. I get a lot of cancer awareness emails, but not lupus. But definitely gotta get myself on in the program for my sister represent.
Hmm. Yeah, and this is our sign, guys. So when you see,
That's the lupus sign.
mhm,
Do it again, like
some people do. It's just an L. Some people do
oh,
that. People just,
hmm. Yes, a lot
mm,
I didn't know about that about lupus until you.
it's a lot to lupus in general. Like it's a
Mhm.
lot. It's a lot. Yeah. Well, guys, it's getting late, so we have to do our housekeeping to talk about. Oh, I already shared that we did not have a DV survivor to highlight this week because nobody stepped up for that. We have decided that we will start doing sponsoring our lives um, every week. I guess on Saturdays we'll do the live sponsorship. Well, maybe we should do the sponsorship on Wednesdays, but we'll do it this Saturday because we already have somebody. So today's show would be sponsored by Miss Lolita James for her recent cash app that she sent to us to help participate in our upcoming giveaway. Y'all excited about the giveaway coming up on Wednesday? Just 4 days away, I think. Yeah,
Who's
4 days away.
ready?
4 days away is our giveaway. Yes, ma'am. Yes,
And
ma'am.
what are the rules?
Hmm?
You have to be in the live.
Yeah, must be in it to win it. Yeah, must be in it to win it. We have the wheel. So as everybody comes in, their name will go on the wheel. Our first prize is $200. Our second prize is $150. And the third prize is $100. And then we have 3 baskets that we will be giving away as well. And on that, we have all kind of goodies. Like I've started getting some of the things in for the people who are participating. If you still would like to participate and sponsor a basket or send a donation, you can still do so. Moving forward, because the time is so close, we'll just give like a gift certificate to that person so they can reach out to you to get whatever the product is that you have to offer. So there's still time to communicate that to us so you can be a part of that. It helps to build your sales as well as advertisement. Yeah. I'm glad, yeah, because we had talked about getting with Blueberry, but I didn't know how to reach out to her. Well, I'm lying because all I had to do was think about going to her Facebook page. Because Blueberry, you still do the jewelry, is that correct? You still do that? Lupa says I want to start doing live sponsorships too. I think that's a good thing to do with audience participation. Absolutely. Absolutely. So Miss Miss Lolita didn't even know. And what we'll do is we'll put it up on the screen each live. We'll put it up on the screen like I just did there. Um, yeah, and actually we'll probably do the same thing over again on this Wednesday, since Wednesday will be the day that we're doing it. You get what I'm saying? Mm, yeah. Am I making sense when I say that? Yeah. So although we announced it today, it'll carry over until Wednesday, and then we'll change it every Wednesday. Did that make sense, guys?
Yeah.
How about that? Like it'll say that. Like today's live is sponsored by Miss Lolita James. And
Thank you again, Miss Lolita. If you catch the replay, I didn't see you today.
yeah, I didn't see her. So if she catches the replay, and when we do it, that'll be up on the screen through the entirety of the live. Um, yeah, yeah. So and then so we'll carry that over to Wednesday. She'll continue to be the sponsorship, and our sponsorship lives are chosen by participation in Cash Apping. To support us here at the Chat and Juke channel. Oh, so we'll do the giveaway on Wednesday. I'm very, very, very excited about that. It'll just be an open panel. We'll talk about everything from the rooter to the tutor. My granddad used to say, asshole to appetite. So we'll be talking about a number of different things while we do our giveaways on this coming Wednesday. Saturday we'll be talking about being a mom, like the sacrifices of being a mommy in honor of Mother's Day. Doing what we got to do, and we do it. We do what we do. Okay. For those of y'all who did not get a chance to watch Amber's premiere last night for her one-on-one interview, if you have a membership or grab a membership and go check her out, I think it was a good live. I think she did said some things that she wanted to say without holding back. Yeah. And am I missing anything, Sissy?
No, that covers everything.
Okay. So Wednesday at 6 p.m. we'll do our giveaways. You got to be in it to win it. Your name will go on the wheel as you come in. And we are still accepting donations as well as any gifts from other content creators or subscribers who would like to participate to have their products displayed and put out there in the basket and to get the advertisement. And what am I forgetting? Seems like I'm forgetting something. I don't know, but it'll come to me. I'm sure it'll come to me eventually. All right, guys. Anything else, Sissy, you want to chime in? You haven't had a lot to say today.
No. Oh, well, it's 6 p.m. Sissy's time and 5 p.m. my time on Wednesday.
Yeah, Eastern
So,
Standard.
yeah. Other than that, we appreciate everyone that joined us today. Thank you for being a part of our live.
I apologize again for the content. I don't know why it wouldn't play. It was showing it to me the entire time. I have no clue what happened. Like absolutely none.
High
But
tech stuff.
hmm?
It might have some high tech stuff where you can't show it. You can see it, but if you try to put a camera on it or something, some kind of screen that won't let you show it. That's the only thing I can think of.
I don't know. I don't know what it was. Because, let me see.
Call for law and order becomes integral to something that comes to be known as the Southern strategy.
Yeah, I just wanted to try it again just to see.
Southern whites, formerly staunch Democrats, into the Republican fold.
Persuading poor and working class whites to join the Republican Party in droves.
By speaking to in subtle and non-racist terms.
Thinly veiled racial appeals.
Talking about crime, by talking about law and order.
So yeah, I don't know what the problem was or is. But I think it may be something internal with Netflix that they're just not going to let you do it. Oh, it says your browser has blocked your screen. Click the screen icon in your address bar to allow access. I don't know. But we're going to get it together eventually.
Yeah.
Next time, maybe I'll just download it and then I don't have to stream it directly from Netflix.
How about that? That's a good idea. Yeah.
But we're learning. We're learning as we go. We're learning as we go. We are learning as we go. I want to say y'all are amazing. We have 530 subscribers.
Yay!
Thank you guys so very much. We appreciate it. We appreciate
We do.
And we're looking for some feedback, guys, to what we want to continue to cover. We know, this past couple of days we're gonna make it about, mommies and being a mom. But then next week we're gonna jump back to our official business that we like to do. So if y'all got a hot topic, y'all want to talk a bit, we can talk a bit. We can talk about it. Actually, I had something I kind of wanted to talk about, like falling stars or celebrities. Because I was watching a video where a lady was recording Keith Murray and in his homeless state, and he wanted $20. Y'all know who Keith Murray is. He was a legend and not doing good financially, or mentally, emotionally, and all of the above. And that kind of piqued my interest. But y'all let me know what y'all think about that. Not just Keith Murray, but there are all kind of people out there who are well off and doing well and don't have anything now. So that's something to keep in mind. But we'll discuss it a little more Wednesday on our next topic. So with that being said, guys, we're gonna end this good live here tonight. I wish each and every one of you an abundance of blessings over your life, in your workplace, your home, in the streets, in and out of YouTube, right? I am wishing and praying that you all stay safe and that you continue to be covered under the blood of our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. I love each and every one of you guys. And until we meet again.
Jesus' name. Y'all have a great weekend as well.
All right. We love you guys. Each and every one of you.